What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a very exciting episode for you guys here today. We had the NASDAQ hit record highs again. The NASDAQ and tech stocks are soaring right now. We had a lot of other stocks hit record highs like Amazon, Netflix, Tesla. The tech sector is exploding. Tesla is even running up in after hours right now. We have a lot of great information to share with you guys today regarding the market overall, and also a little bit about the coronavirus and real estate market. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to watch to the end of the video and hit that subscribe button to see our YouTube videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. So with that being said, we are going to be sharing a lot of great plays and information to watch out for tomorrow. So Tom, what happened in the stock market today?
Yeah, today was a very big powerhouse day in the market. Tesla ran up 17%. Microsoft stayed around highs all day long today. Pinterest popped 7% after we talked about it in the video, as well as Tesla playing very well out of that triangle, just like we said it would. In pre-market, it had a nice pop, and then, like I said, ended up being 17% if you count after hours right now. Just amazing day for Tesla and pretty much the whole entire tech sector overall. Lyft even went up, SPCE, Twitter, even Boeing was up today. So pretty much every big stock was up today, which was very nice to see. And the NASDAQ ended up hitting record highs as well, hitting 10,614. Looks like it might double top up here, but this is just futures, guys. So keep in mind, it could go up in the morning whenever the market does open.
Yeah, absolutely. So amazing day with the tech sector. What happened with the Royal Caribbean and the Norwegian Cruise Line news?
Yeah, that was awesome. Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Lines are going to team up to restart right now. And they're going to start, obviously sailing ships out eventually once they're allowed to. And right now with all the stuff going on and states kind of pausing their reopening, it almost seems like that they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But they're teaming up. It's a very good thing. The cruise industry has taken a major hit from the pandemic, and a lot of large clusters of COVID really came on these cruise ships, and that's very scary for people. If you're on a cruise ship and then out of nowhere someone gets the virus, everyone would be going crazy on that ship.
Yeah, absolutely. So Royal Caribbean and Norwegian, they're not merging, but they are just it's like a task force almost, and they're just teaming up for safety standards and just the overall restart of their business because they are in the same industry. So overall, that should be a slightly bullish thing for RCL and NCLH. That's both of their ticker symbols. I don't expect any huge movement out of this, but it's just some good news, slightly good news to watch out for both of those tickers. And then what happened with the commercial real estate market, Tom?
Yeah, delinquencies in commercial mortgage-backed securities jumped by 213 basis points in June to 3.59% from 1.46%. And Melissa Shea, Fitch's senior director, said that delinquencies are concerning because they could have a negative impact to property valuations, which could ultimately result in losses to CMBS investors, which is very big. She obviously is the senior director at CMBS. And that's very big. If their investors are going to start losing money and having losses, that could mean a lot of negative impacts for the real estate market as a whole, which has been doing very well recently.
Right, exactly. So the residential real estate market is doing amazing right now, primarily because there is a very low inventory right now. There's a lot of buyers, but not too many sellers. There's a low supply. And then at the same time, rates are so low. So that's creating a great market for the real estate market to go up. Now, the thing is with commercial real estate is I do know that there are a lot of plans out there right now for forbearance and things like that. So that could definitely be a reason as to why delinquencies are rising. And the main thing to watch out from this data is if these delinquencies keep rising, and let's say, for example, that a lot of these delinquencies are out of forbearance, where they are actually they're in the red, where they're not being bailed out, you could say, then that could be a problem because then that would hurt the real estate market, which would trickle down to other markets like the stock market and things like that. So, this isn't huge news. This is not going to affect the market right now, but it is something to watch out for. Mortgage delinquencies are rising for the commercial real estate market. Okay. And like I said, I know a lot of them are in like forbearance plans and things where you could like delay the payment. But if things like if these delinquencies, if these delinquencies are not in forbearance, like let's say like a month or two from now, then we can possibly see problems in the real estate market and stock market overall. And then out of those delinquencies from the jump, hotel and retail mortgages were hit the worst. Multifamily real estate, like multifamily apartment buildings, weren't really hit that bad. And then what happened with Fauci too?
Yeah, Fauci actually came out today and said that the average age of U.S. coronavirus patients is dropped by 15 years as Florida gets hit very hard. Cases are surging and the death rate is falling. And that's mainly because a lot of younger people are starting to become infected now. In the beginning, a lot of older people were infected. And, obviously a lot of younger people took precautions. I believe more younger people did in the beginning. But I believe, as we all know, younger people are more impatient. So they're definitely going to go out sooner. And obviously more young people now are getting infected, and which is kind of good because the death rate's falling. But at the same time, it's still not good because we're going to be spreading around a lot of cases around still.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So that's definitely some important news to watch out for. Cases are surging, but so is the stock market. So right now it looks like the market doesn't care at all about these surging cases. And I think the reason for that is because of one, the tech sector exploding, but also two, because the death rates are falling. However, if states do start to shut down or pause their reopening phases, I still think the market overall can take a huge dip. So keep that in mind. And now with the momentum plays for tomorrow. And before we get started with the momentum plays for tomorrow, we're going to go over today's member of the day from the Discord chat. So every single episode, Tom and I select a member that really stood out for the day for the Discord chat. And today's member of the day is High Life. So he's been in the Discord for a little bit now. He was making some great profits today, and he is a very positive member to the community. And I'm definitely happy to have him in the community. So I'm very grateful to have High Life in the Discord, and keep doing what you're doing. Great job, especially today with all the profits you made. If you guys want to become a member of the Discord, you can click the first link in the description down below. So now with the momentum plays for tomorrow, and with the first one, as you guys can probably guess, we have Amazon. So Amazon had an amazing day, has a ton of upwards momentum. Tom, what levels should we be watching for Amazon?
Watch for them to go ahead and break 3,072. And just keep in mind that they'll probably do it in pre-market. So they will probably have a nice pre-market run if they do end up going up.
Absolutely. So if Amazon breaks the level Tom listed, we'll be looking at Amazon in a bullish sense. With the next stock, we have Tesla.
Yeah, the powerhouse of the day, up at 1435 right now. I would honestly watch for this one to break 1440 tomorrow at open.
Yep, so 1440, again, in a bullish sense. With the next one, we have Goldman Sachs, which is ticker symbol GS.
Yep, watch for them to go ahead and break 208. I like this. They kind of have a nice little double top here, so 208 is a solid level.
Absolutely. With the next one, we have Baidu, BIDU.
Watch for them to break 135. They had a nice after-hours run up as well.
Big time. Same with BABA. So that's the last but not least momentum trade, BABA.
Yep, well, I would watch for them to break 243.
243. So again, for all these stocks we are looking at in a bullish sense, only if they break the levels we list. So there has to be that momentum there for the possible play. Okay. So now with the $1.1 million options trade for tomorrow, and we are looking at the stock NKLA, which is Nikola, with the, they're kind of like with the electric vehicle hype. They had a crazy run up over the past couple months, hitting highs of around just under $94. So huge pump almost. Right now they're sitting at around $49. and someone put about $1.1 million into the NKLA 40 strike puts that expire this week, July 10th. So this could be a great play. If NKLA has downwards momentum tomorrow, maybe consider looking at the NKLA 40 strike puts that expire this week, July 10th. Someone put about $1.1 million into that play. So now with the questions from the previous episode, we have Keith saying, hey, Mike and Tom, I asked a question in the chat, but didn't get a response yet. So what is your thought on USB? So let's take a look at USB. This is US Bank. They were pretty neutral today. Goldman Sachs had an amazing day, so I'm sure that's pretty much the reason why the banking sector overall is up slightly today. I don't love USB. I don't hate it either. I would be slightly bullish on this play, though. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I really like US Bank, especially for the long term. I really like this bounce off the 100 SMA here. The thing is that they have not recovered too much since the virus. So for the long term, I do like them. For the short term, I'm definitely neutral on them. It's not something I would personally pick up because if the market does end up going down, expect banks to go down with it. And where the market is right now, like a lot of stocks have recovered. So if they fall down another 20% and then US Bank falls down 20%, US Bank's going to be a lot lower than a lot of these stocks that are, all the way back up to 56, for example.
True. And I'm still pretty interested how we saw such a huge recovery with the market overall, even with the, especially with the tech sector, but the financial sector, like these bank stocks, are just not recovering like all of these other stocks have.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like if we just go back and look at, like, let's just pick a random one like Microsoft. You can see Microsoft, obviously they fully recovered their total loss. They fully recovered the whole thing and more. And then we have stocks that are bank stocks that you would think would have at least recovered, 50, 60%. And they're only recovering, right now they're sitting at like 30%. Up here, they were at 50%, but from their highs of 60, that's an 100%, rise from the bottom. They're a long way from there. And it's just kind of crazy to see it. Like you said, it's very mind boggling. It's one of those things that you would expect banks to do a lot better, but for the long term, maybe banks are a good discount right now. But at the same time, maybe they're not recovering because that's showing you something bad about them.
Right, exactly. So I'm sure there's definitely a reason as to why they're not recovering. With the next comment, we have Jay saying, you guys are awesome. Thank you for all the value you provide. So thank you so much for that amazing comment. We have AKA saying, is it good to do a strangle when earnings are coming up? And what about an iron condor? I just want to know a good explanation. Maybe you can show a tutorial. Thanks, man. Keep up the great work. So strangles ahead of earnings are probably the quickest way to lose money in the stock market. And I say that because think about it like this. If a stock is about to report earnings, right, most likely there's going to be a huge move. Now, if you want to play earnings, let's say you think Netflix is going to rise on earnings, right? That Netflix has earnings coming up. Let's say you think it's going to rise. If you buy calls on Netflix and Netflix goes up, you can still lose money because when earnings happens, the options prices get very expensive because everyone's anticipating a huge move. So when you're playing earnings, not only do you have to pick the direction right, but you really need that stock to move outside of expectations. So if you do a strangle or straddle ahead of earnings, you will lose money very quickly. And the main reason because it's kind of like betting on red and black, like almost at the roulette table, in Vegas. It's almost like the game is just set up where you can't win by doing that in the long term. It's just the way the market prices things. So I would not recommend doing that. Like I said, it's pretty much like betting on red and black at the same time. And then iron condors, that is like the opposite of a strangle, and that can work great. Normally, I would not do it ahead of earnings. It could work great. I just personally don't like to have iron condors ahead of a earnings move. Any wrong move can really destroy you, and no one really knows what's going to go on after earnings. So I like to do iron condors just like when the market is kind of like in a regular, kind of like a flat state like it was for the past 2 weeks. All right. With the next question is, let's see. Next question, we have Hunter saying, amazing vid. I agree. Apple is scary to short, but I'd love to see it fall a decent amount so I could get in for the long term for a better price. Absolutely. I mean, we saw a lot of put buyers and like bearish options activity on Apple, but the market just exploded up today, as did Apple. So, Apple is one of those stocks that like you almost just don't short. They're one of the top bulls for the past 5 to 10 years. They're such a powerhouse. They're a great company, have tons of cash. Apple is an amazing stock. When in doubt, it's almost like buy calls on Apple. And then on top of that, if Apple does fall, I think I will definitely be loading up on Apple stocks if we do have another dip in the market.
Yeah, me too. That's a definite long-term play, a great one. I think picking up any type of stock like Apple, Microsoft, even Facebook, or even like some Tesla, even just a little bit of Tesla, that's all great options for the long term.
Absolutely. Like if we did see another market fall, I would definitely load up on some value stocks, like Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Home Depot, things like that, some value stocks, some of the safer stocks, McDonald's even. But what I would also really load up on is Apple, QQQ, which is the NASDAQ ETF. It's pretty much the SPY version of the NASDAQ. So SPY is the ETF for the S&P 500. QQQ is the ETF for the NASDAQ. So I would definitely load up on QQQ. They're at all-time highs right now. Same thing with, I would definitely load up on Tesla too, Tesla and Amazon. But these are all great companies, especially any of these tech companies. They have a very bright future ahead. And if we do see another market downturn, I would definitely love to load up on them. So with the next question we have Justin saying, please review SGMO. I love the show and I'm curious on your thoughts. So SGMO, let's take a look. So this looks like a lower price stock. It is a therapeutic stock. I have never heard of this company before. Like I said, Tom, do you know what this company does?
No, I don't know anything about them, but they are kind of bouncing off some technicals, which I kind of like. But the thing is how much can this run up continue?
Right. So SGMO, we don't know anything about this company. However, we can help you from a technical standpoint. So over the past 3 years, it looks like the company is on a decent downtrend, which I don't like. They hit highs of around $26.50, almost close to $27 back in March of 2018. So I'm not liking this long-term downtrend, and that is something that would definitely turn me off from buying and holding onto this. For the short term, I don't love it either. Like I said, like Tom said, it does have a nice uptrend. So if anything, I would buy some calls. But like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the play. Thank you so much for that question, though. So with that being said, Tom, do you have any last-minute stocks, options, or any insight for tomorrow?
Yep. The last thing I just wanted to go over was Pinterest, guys. It flew up again, another 7% after we talked about it like 4 times, and I drew this nice wedge pattern here. It went ahead and played off of it perfectly. Went up in the morning. It could have been a great opportunity again to catch another like 5 to 6% move on a nice stock.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was an amazing call, Tom. You really nailed that one. I think you called it out at around $23.30, I think, somewhere around there. Either way, amazing call out. Pinterest had an amazing run up, and I'm sure it'll probably continue for another day or two. Right now, we have Dow futures down about 37 points, and we have NASDAQ futures down 1 point. So pretty much flat. So we are in for what looks like to be an exciting day in the market tomorrow, especially with Tesla hitting all-time highs, Netflix hitting all-time highs, the NASDAQ hitting all-time highs. Looks like we should definitely have some movement, which is pretty much exactly what we want, whether the market goes up or down, being option swing traders and day traders. As long as we see movement, that'll be great for us. What we don't like to see is kangaroo movement, where we see up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like we've been seeing for the past 2 to 3 weeks. But how it's looking right now, Looks like we are in for an amazing week, and we already have an amazing start to the week. So I'm very excited for the rest of this week, guys. If you guys are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. If you guys gain value from this video, Tom and I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button and commented down below. The YouTube channel has been growing so much, and Tom and I are so grateful for all of your guys' supports. All the comments and likes really help grow the YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.